Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today, as promised, we are going to be going over the Black Friday special discounts that are available in Grand Theft Auto Online as part of this update week, and these are only lasting though from the 24th, which is today, to November 28th. So these are only on sale for 4 days. I'm going to be telling you in this video all of the Black Friday special discounts and whether or not I think that they are actually worth picking up or not. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started right off the bat and go to the Warstock Cash and Carry website. Now, to get things started, the Benefactor Terabyte purchase price is reduced by 70% off. Now, I'm not able to actually show you the discount because I've already got a terabyte. Now, this is not including renovations, so renovations are still full price, but the terabyte itself is 70% off, which is pretty cool. So the terabyte is a pretty good vehicle. It does allow you to customize the Oppressor Mark II, which is, you know, obviously a pretty useful vehicle in GTA. Obviously a controversial one at that, but it does allow you to put the missiles on it, which is pretty important. So the terabyte is honestly pretty good to own. You do get a special set of missions, and you can technically source crates from your terabyte, which is pretty useful, and it can be kind of good depending on where your CEO cargo warehouses are located. So it could potentially be worth picking up. For 70% off, I'd have to say for the majority of players, you probably should pick up the terabyte. It's also the third most armored vehicle in the entire game, behind the Acid Lab and the Mobile Operations Center. So if you don't have one, I would say I do recommend picking up a terabyte this week. I don't really recommend getting the turret station or the drone station. The weapon workshop as well as the specialized workshop are both worth getting, but only get the weapon workshop if you don't have a weapon workshop anywhere else, if that makes sense. The only things that you really need to do are get the specialized workshop and then tint your interior or whatever if you do choose to do that. So that's it for the terabyte. Definitely pick one of those up this week for sure while it is on discount. Now also this week, the Avenger is 50% off. Now this is another vehicle I do recommend purchasing. This will allow you to customize vehicles like the Insurgent Pickup Custom, things like that, as long as you get the vehicle workshop within it. The gun turret is also pretty useful to get. The weapon workshop, again, if you don't have it anywhere else, you could get it in here. And the operations terminal, which does allow you to do the new missions, it's pretty trash, and I honestly wouldn't really recommend buying it because I think it's about $1.4 million, which is a little overpriced for what you get. So probably avoid the operations terminal, but definitely get an Avenger. It is actually a very, very good vehicle. So pick one up if you guys don't have one already, for sure. Alright, next up we have the F-160 Raiju. This is not actually part of the Black Friday discounts. Technically, it is available at the best of times during this week for 25% off. Pick up a Raiju if you don't have one already somehow. Alright, and scrolling a little further down, we have the TM02 Kanjali on discount this week for 50% off, which is a great discount. And we also have the Ocelot Stromberg 50% off this week. The Stromberg is kind of succeeded by the Toreador. The Toreador is a lot better in pretty much every single way. It's got 2 more seats. It has a rocket booster. It's got the same or better armor. The machine guns are the same. It's got a little bit of customization. It has spoiler options. So overall, the Toreador is just such a better vehicle. It kind of makes the Stromberg irrelevant. However, picking up a Stromberg for less than $1 million, it might actually be worth it. This car is submersible. You can take it underwater, so it might be worth picking up this week if you don't have one already. And if you don't have a Toreador, then the Stromberg probably is worth picking up. If you already have a Toreador, though, I would say probably avoid getting the Stromberg, in all honesty. However, the TM02 Kanjali is actually a pretty good vehicle, and I do think you should pick it up. You will need a facility in order to own this vehicle, so hopefully you bought one last week while they were on discount. If you didn't, you're going to have to buy one if you do want the Kanjali. So keep that in mind. It can have an upgraded railgun turret, which gives it extra range, and it will allow you to do charged shots. It holds 4 players. Somebody operates this machine gun, and 2 players operate grenade launchers on the sides of the Kanjali. It's got pretty good armor. Overall, it is actually a pretty good tank, and I would recommend it for 50% off, 100%. Now for another discount on Warstock, we have the P996 Laser, discounted by 25% off. It's not worth it. at this point you should get an F-160 Raju for an extra, what, like 300 grand if you don't have the trade price. And if you do have the trade price, the Raju is actually less than the P996 laser. Now the laser you can obviously steal at the military base at the best of times. It doesn't have any customization when you add it into your hangar except for the color of the vehicle, which is pretty trash. And it gets outperformed by the Raju. Obviously the Raju has stealth mode, it has vertical takeoff and landing, missiles, homing missiles, and machine guns that are explosive as well. The laser just simply isn't that good anymore. If you do have just absolutely tons of money burning a hole in your pocket, you can pick up the laser, but there really is actually no good reason to, in my honest opinion. And next up we have the Ruiner 2000 discounted by 50% off, which is a huge discount. This is formerly one of the most expensive vehicles in the entire game. For 50% off, it's cool. It does allow you to do the fully loaded Ruiner mission, which will give it extra armor, but we have vehicles in the game that have as much armor as it does with a glitch, sort of, or through doing the mission. It's not really worth it in my opinion. It does have a cool parachute that you can deploy, and you can also jump it in the air to use the parachute to kind of glide around. It's not really worth it though, to be completely real, so I would avoid the Ruiner 2000 this week in all honesty. Unless you're super interested in it, then obviously pick it up, don't listen to me, but for the majority of people it's not going to be super worth picking up, honestly. Alright, and next up on the travel and transport website, the elitist travel and transport website, you know that there's going to be some useless stuff in here, and of course there is. We have 50% off of the Luxor Deluxe, 50% off of the Swift Deluxe, 50% off of the regular Swift, and 50% off of the Luxor. First of all, you can just go to the airport and steal a Luxor, I think once you hit level 25. So there's no point in buying a Luxor for it to be a Pegasus vehicle. The Swift is sort of the same thing, except you can't steal it. So if it really means a lot to you, you really like how it's designed or something like that, maybe it's worth picking up. For the majority of players, I would say avoid it completely. You're never going to use it as much as you think you're going to use it. And then of course we have the Luxor and Swift Deluxe. Both of these can take one additional homing missile in comparison to the Swift and the regular Luxor, so they can take one. So that's all you get. Oh, you can also drink champagne in the back of them, but you need somebody else to fly them for you. So good luck doing that. They're not cool. They're not flex pieces. Nobody is going to think that they're cool. Please do not buy either of the deluxe vehicles. Don't buy the regular Swift either, or the regular Luxor, please. It's such a huge waste of money. I mean, obviously, if you're balling out of control, if you want to do it, but in my opinion, don't waste your time with it. Alright, and on Legendary Motorsport, we have two open wheel vehicle discounts. We have the Benefactor BR8 and the Progen PR4. Now, both of these cars are pretty much on pace with each other when it comes to the open wheel races. I do think that the BR8 has an ever so slight advantage over the PR4. I also think it looks better. If you're interested in getting into the open wheel cars, now is a great time to do it. 50% off is huge. If you're going to buy one of these two cars, get the BR8. It is a little bit cheaper and the performance is just a tiny bit better than the PR4. I think it's more worth it to get the BR8. Do I recommend getting either of them? No, you're never going to make your money back from open wheel races unless you probably do like 200 of them. So don't expect it to make you any money. It is okay for the time trial, both of them, but it's not going to really do better than things like the LM87 or any other car like that. So they're good in their own way, but they're kind of trash in their own way as well. If you're going to get one, get the BR8. Do I recommend either of them? Not entirely. So do with that information what you will. Let's move on. And of course, we have Galaxy Super Yachts 40% off, including upgrades and modifications. Now, if you are a really big fan of the Swift, if you get the Pisces yacht, your yacht comes with a Swift. So if you want that, you can get it with the Pisces yacht. Do I recommend getting a yacht? No. But it can be kind of cool very occasionally. Is it worth the money? No, absolutely not. Is it something you're going to want anyways? Probably, because it is just kind of a nice flex piece, but it's not super worth it. If you want to get into more of the specifics on it, I will link a video in the description of me going over the pros and cons of the yachts and if you should buy them. Honestly, I can't necessarily recommend it at this point, especially with the new DLC dropping on December 12th. So keep that in mind, because that is not very far away and they want you to spend a ton of money right now for Black Friday. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you have at least 40 mil for the DLC, I would say. If you got more than that, feel free to spend whatever you want to do on a yacht, on any of these vehicles that we've gone over today. Is it worth it for the yacht? Not 100%, that's for sure. It's like, it's cool to go to every once in a while. I own a yacht. The last time I was on it was probably 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, maybe 5. It's been a very long time. I don't even remember. It's nice to have, but it's not 10 mil nice to have, really. So if you're gonna get one, now is a good time because they are 40% off, but I still can't really recommend it. So do with that information what you will. You're gonna make your own choices, obviously. So there you guys have it. Those are all of the Black Friday discounts that are going on this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Take advantage of some of them for sure if you are interested in some of the vehicles that are discounted. Do keep in mind the new DLC is coming on December 12th, so make sure you have a lot of money for that. You're probably going to need, I would say, $25 to $40 million, so make sure you got that. If you have more than that, feel free to blow some money on the Black Friday discounts while they are discounted. But anyway guys, that's it for the Black Friday discounts in Grand Theft Auto Online this week. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.